Hello, lovely air sign people, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Welcome to your tarot reading. This will be a general collective message for the air signs this week. Again, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, whatever you are here looking for. I hope you get something out of it. These are general messages, so do keep in mind that not everything that comes through may resonate with you personally. I hope lots and lots of it does. I hope it motivates you, empowers you, inspires you. If you're not feeling that way, if you're not connecting with the material, feel free to push it aside. You may want to revisit it at another date. Sometimes tarot will make more sense in the future. So just keep that in mind. Use your discernment, your good judgment, and you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is just, of course, optional advice, energy check-ins, seeing what's out there. You're going on some sort of journey to find inner peace. It almost feels like, for some of you, it could be a literal journey, right? For a lot of you, it almost feels like a mental journey. And what I mean by that is sort of going in your mind to I'm getting the idea of like declutter some unnecessary thoughts or beliefs or ideas that have sort of been holding you back, not allowing you to pursue your dreams or go after something that you really do desire, but there's just, I don't know if it's an insecurity or it could be conditioning of your environment, your family, people telling you shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't be able to, all that kind of stuff. But you do seem to be on your way to finding some sort of peace of mind. The Four of Swords is like a card of rest and meditation. Some battles have been fought, but what I'm getting here is for a lot of you, it's internal battles. Six of Swords, which is what this card is a tremendous card. It does indicate, small wins and small victories. We like that nice even number of the 6. So there is something to celebrate that you've recently moved towards, or really what I think this is gaining some sort of clarity or confidence to go after something and being able to sort of feel the relief of I did it, and also a sense of pride, right? Kind of being able to congratulate yourself or pat yourself on the back. For a lot of you, it seems something very independent, and maybe there was a lot of fear holding you back here, like it's something you knew you had to do on your own, but wouldn't it have been easier? This kind of Gemini energy, if you had the partnership, if you had the other twin with you. I say that kind of in metaphor, of course, but there's reward here. And it can be a very small thing, guys. It doesn't have to be something life-changing, but I will say, because you've recently proven to yourself just how capable you are, there's a lot more of this to come, but the next time around or the next time you go after it, it's going to be easier because you've already kind of experienced something similar. And really what it is, it's testing yourself. It's testing you to step up to the plate and hold true sort of your firm beliefs on what it is that you want and desire in this life, and to not let things, people, places, circumstances hold you back. I like that a lot. Some of you might just be going on vacation, and again, that idea of needing clarity and peace of mind, if you're just feeling sort of stifled and stuck at work or just in your current situation, maybe it's a relationship, it's almost like with a little time and distance, if you're able to really turn off that chattery mind, or however you want to say it seems like something very restful is what's due to you. And with that, it sort of reveals maybe some new information, Knight of Swords, on how to take action or move forward on, I'm hearing a turbulent situation, a tricky situation. The King of Wands, though, he's the king of action. This might be regarding an ex. And it kind of came to me just like that, possibly a boyfriend, a girlfriend. Could be someone who's very strong in fire, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be. But I almost get the idea of feeling pressured into doing something. It could also be a coworker, a boss. So I don't sense that this is you, air signs. This feels like more of an external figure. I do think it is supporting this newfound confidence. But it might be needing to find your internal confidence to face a situation with this, external person. I hope that makes sense. It's almost like what you're being called to channel within is actually very much what you're being challenged with around you. I think that's very, very important. So if you're running into people who are offering you, the same type of qualities or traits or characteristics, and whether you like it or not, something about that consistency, the repetition of patterns, and the type of person you're meeting, it is to sort of aggravate and challenge you, but in a way that is necessary for your growth, to bring that side out of you and to use it, obviously, in a positive manifestation. So you might meet a lot of people who are, I don't know, naysayers or difficult or challenging, very, whatever, pessimistic, negative, and you're like, oh my God, why am I constantly surrounded by this? It might be to take that sort of Saturnian energy, if you will, and use it in a more positive manifestation of setting healthy boundaries, right? Feeling confident and secure in your work and what you produce and not feeling like you have to over-explain it or apologize for it. The way that, in a sense, maybe those people are coming off, but it might be in a more negative light that you're viewing it. And I'm not saying that's not true, but there's a need to question the patterns around you, and whatever it is that you think the universe is trying to show you, it is trying to get you to sort of flex that muscle on your own. But again, the key to that, though, is in a high vibration. So again, if you're being challenged by romantic partnerships who have wandering eyes or are cheaters or who are just not in it for the long haul, perhaps you're being asked to re-navigate your compass in terms of what it is you're truly looking for and sticking to it, and maybe being a little bit more upfront with conversations about what it is you need and want and desire in relationships. Now, those are sort of more maybe glass half empty examples, because the thing is, what's opposing you, or maybe not opposing you, but challenging you, again, could be a positive challenge, right? And opportunity for growth and lessons. Is this King of Wands? Typically, a king is high vibing energy. If it's just a king, let's pull a little bit more on it. You have a High Priestess. Okay. I don't hate this so far. So it might be someone who's encouraging you to be more of an advocate. Someone who's challenging you to be more confident in yourself and your skills and your talents. Someone who, King of Wands is very much connected to Leo. So putting yourself in the limelight and the spotlight, being the center of attention. And maybe that's not something that's wanted or desired right now, but there's a reason for it. So maybe it's someone encouraging you to give that speech at work, or to, step up to the plate and do that thing, even if it puts a lot of attention on you that maybe you're not too comfortable in. You may be being asked to mentor something or lead something. Those are very strong words associated with Leo. Something, again, that requires heart, passion, courage. And that's what we started off saying. I mean, she has this little heart on her. And I almost think that that's a positive message, too, for some of you, that if this is a healthy relationship, if it's not a toxic person in your life, it's almost like, to me, saying this person actually has your back. You might be giving lots of thought to what this person has said. And maybe that's where this comes in, is you kind of need a moment to think and reflect about the, the messages that you're receiving from them, that you're interpreting, right? And then figuring out what you're going to do with it. But I think that's where it comes to this independent. You have to make your mind up for yourself. You can't lead your life based on what other people are telling you should do. You have to want to do them for yourself, right? That's where it can get sticky, where people are maybe enabling you not making the decision and making a decision for you, right? Tell me a little bit more about this King of Wands. It could be someone who's on a Cancer Leo cusp with the High Priestess showing. It could be someone who's trying to get you to speak up. Again, the High Priestess is not very vocal. She's typically the silent one. She can represent secrets. So what is this sort of internal motivation that it's like we're trying to pull it out of you? We're trying to bring it to life. We're trying to get you to fight for something in a good way. It could be being, again, an advocate, or shining a light on something that is typically hidden. More High Priestess energy there. And then you have the King of Swords. So again, speech, fire and air. Fire and air. What a winning combination, though, right? This very likely has to do with something at work. I also see something here about something that's conservative versus something that's more alternative. This is the King of Wands, so it is a fire element, but for some reason I always associate it with Aquarius. And I mean, for those of you who are kind of into astrology, I'm sure you can kind of see where I'm coming from with that, right? There's just something alternative about this card. It might be the rainbow beard or something. But yeah, there might be a choice or a path to stick with what is traditional, what you view, or I don't know, whoever your boss is or your family, what they view as the traditional path versus the unexpected or the alternative or the nonconformist. And maybe you're at a crossroads. Again, the Knight of Swords is a card linked to Gemini. So yeah, there might be something about this flip-flop or this back and forth and not feeling like you have clarity on which way to go. Maybe you have two options presenting too. Maybe it's two jobs. Maybe it's two apartments. Maybe it's two romantic prospects, right? They are both showing up as kings. And right now, I don't see anything that gives me pause. I'm trying to clarify them both, but to be honest, when it fell under the Knight of Swords, I see this as two. I don't think this is the same. So maybe that's what the universe is trying to get me to see there. Let's see. So specifically on this King of Wands, Something about a really cool car. I don't know what that's about. A cool car. The Page of Cups, okay. Someone artistic, someone poetic, someone who feels things deeply, but they might not be a master at showing those emotions yet, but they are actually quite sensitive. And it's one of those things you wouldn't even know it until you actually sort of peeled back the layers and got to know this person on a more intimate level. I also think in a positive way, this person is a kid at heart. You know, they're very in touch, again, Leo energy. They're very in touch with sort of their inner child and understanding that, you know, life is about taking risks and life is about having fun and adventures, you know, and balancing responsibility, etc., of course. But there is something here about being in touch with almost like silliness, you know, not taking life too seriously, making sure you're taking time out to enjoy the time you have here in this lifetime anyway. And then let's see, anything about the King of Swords? If this is a dating prospect, it could also be someone who is a single father. I am getting really masculine energy off of these this week. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. It's not to say it couldn't be feminine energy, but if it is a female, it's someone who's kind of channeling more masculine energy this week. Could be a single parent, and it may be a career that has to do with, again, arts, creativity, poetry, you know, anything creative or even to do with children. So then let's see about this King of Swords. This person's a smarty pants, very smart and intellectual. So there's that High Priestess again too. So there's an opportunity here to have very deep conversations, but it might. I'm getting this idea of you have to peel back the layers. I think there's a strong message here of not judging a book by its cover, because on both sides there's more to be revealed. I'm almost getting there's an option, and it might not be a person. Again, it might be more of the idea of a job or an opportunity or a place. There's something that comes off as very wild, creative, unique, alternative, different, interesting. And with that, I'm just getting this idea of you may write it off of lacking substance. But again, if you peel back the layers, there is actually a great sensitivity or a lot of, I'm hearing like poetic license. I don't know what that has to do with it, but it's not as tough as it seems. The exterior comes off as much more, I'm hearing impressionable. It comes off as a lot more wild and crazy than it actually is. There is something tangible and pure here that potentially could make you quite happy. There could be a romantic offer or something that is a small stream of income. Page of Cups. All right, then with this one, it's almost like a yearning for deeper conversation. This person might be an old soul, and with that, that's where there's this contrast. This is loud and brash and wild, and it hits you over the face with its energy, but really it's just a puppy dog. This one's the opposite. It kind of comes off as this very like cool, chill, you know, I don't have much to say, but again, don't mistake that for someone who is standoffish. It's not that, it's just it takes them a while to open up. And I actually like this energy quite a bit. I think this person is a wealth of knowledge, but again, there isn't this excitement to, I have to show it to the world. I have to prove it by wearing it on my chest in a tattoo, right? There's just kind of this like subtlety. There's a very spiritual side to this person as well. Religion might play a very strong role in this person's family. The grandmother specifically may be a key figure. And this person may be very interested in discussing the idea of family planning or starting a family, or they may do something related to family roots, traditions, ancestors. They may work in something related to the house or home. They might literally be an architect. They might be an interior designer. They might be a construction worker, you know, something like that. Again, that Cancerian energy is kind of coming through here, even though it's a King of Swords. I also think this person has a playful sense of humor, but if you are very sensitive, you may take it personally. It might be like they take little jabs, and to them it's all in jest, but you might be, it's almost like you were very offended by something they said, but I almost think it was misinterpreted or misunderstood. All right, this has sort of been a hodgepodge, guys. I don't know if this is career-related or romantic partner, and maybe it's both, depending on how you want to view this story. Can I ask a little bit more about the Four of Swords here? Like, why are we finally feeling at ease and at peace? Oh, that came right out. All I had to do was ask. The Knight of Cups. Okay, because an offer is made. Isn't that interesting, though, that there's 3 people here? So I'm going to offer this. Obviously, I don't condone third-party relationships, but this may also be a dynamic where a group situation is healthy, meaning like a work team or a group of friends. There might be sort of this feeling of gratitude for the friends in your life or the people who are helping you solve difficult issues or problems or dilemma in your personal life. And again, you're the one who's making the final decision here. I really want to focus in on that. But there is sort of this energy of being grateful, being thankful, because you realize that your people really do step up and support you when you ask for that, when there's this call to action. What an interesting Knight of Cups. So any nights bring change and movement into our life, right? The Knight of Cups, for me as a reader, typically indicates Piscean energy. That could certainly be a zodiac sign. You definitely have some water energy here already, Cancer and Pisces especially. But if we break that down a little bit more and, okay, what is Piscean energy? It really is a lot to do with some of the Page of Cups words that I was throwing at you earlier. So it's someone who is very sensitive, typically, someone who's very in tune with spirituality, someone who's maybe creative or artistic. Religion may play a very large role in their life. They could even work with people who suffer from some sort of illness or sickness or victims of any kind. Pisces can sometimes play the hero and the rescuer, but not in the way of like, warrior. It's more like, let's talk about it and cry together, that kind of thing. Pisces has a lot to do with changeable emotions, right? It's a mutable sign, so it's, everything feeds into the ocean. That's sort of how you can look at Pisces, right? They are a collector of different feelings and senses and emotions, and so with that, they can be quite profound on a psychic, energetic level. So anything to do with like mysticism. But also there can sometimes be an overwhelm of emotions. So they can be the hopeless romantic and get a little bit carried away, right? So I'm just giving you those examples because something about that has to do with this offer being made, this Knight of Cups. So maybe you're getting a job offer that is related to something I just said. Maybe you're getting asked out on a date or taking it to the next level with a romantic partner, and something about that encompasses this person or this relationship. I will say, though, there is a connection to groups of people and maybe friendships. So this could be meeting someone through a friend of a friend. There could even be a connection through meeting someone who is already familiar with the family, as in a friend of the family's. I'm saying that because of that kind of Cancerian energy coming through here. And if we zoom out from that too, even the idea of friend of the family, let's say you have a work family, right? If you go out for drinks with your coworkers, again, very Pisces, right? Escapism, alcoholism. It doesn't have to be though. But going out and sort of, okay, I don't want to put a negative spin on it, but that need for release in some sort of cosmic sense. So being able to detach from one's body in a sense and go off into the spiritual realm. Some people do that with art or music or creativity. Other people do that with substances, right? Anyway, I'm just putting that out there. Especially weed. This person might really be into weed. There is some sort of connection to the family. Frick, I lost my train of thought. Where was I going with that? Oh, okay. The idea of like your family being a group of coworkers. There again, that connection to a group of friends. I'm really focused on this one, and there's something kind of androgynous about this depiction to me. So I feel like I'm not being told to mention gender here. I don't think gender is as important because I think it could go any which way there. And I mean, especially with the mention of sort of this sort of unique Uranian energy, and it is Pride Month, right? There could be a connection to that too, the rainbow thing. There might be an element here of like transgender or a bisexual or something like that. And again, that duality too, that kind of Gemini energy, that's coming through a little bit. So that might be an indicator for some of you as well. All right. That's one message. I don't really know what to tell you other than that's what's coming up in the cards. Let's get you one more quick one. We'll do 3 more cards for my air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Libra, I know I didn't mention your name in that one, but that doesn't mean it's not for you. It's just the other names came up. So you might be dealing with another air sign or whatever, a Leo, a Cancer. So I just didn't want my Libras to feel excluded. Never. All right. One more message for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius placements, something that they need to hear this week. Assessment on leaving or not. Assessment on if you're going to get caught. Assessment if you broke the rules or the law or the red tape. I'm hearing fine. Some of you may get fined with something or something in the official rule book. There is some sort of legal battle or worrying about legal documents here. What else? You have 2 sevens. So sevens are saying you're not through it yet. You're kind of, I wouldn't say in the thick of it, but still kind of in the middle-ish, if you will. Essentially, 8s are what follow 7s. I know, right? Crazy that I just said that. 7, 8. 8s are about liberation and freedom from a situation. So with that, you're not there yet. Now, this Ace of Swords could represent the idea of cutting ties and freeing yourself from something. If that's the case, there might be something written or something that you need to submit, like a document or a certification or whatever, and then there's victory. For some of you, though, I almost see this as the law coming down to right the injustice or right the wrong. So depending on what side of that you're on, I'm just saying there might be legal ramifications or legal discussions. Some of you may quite literally be thinking about, studying to become a lawyer or something like that. So if that's the case, that makes total sense, right? Some of you, there might be a family member who might be facing some sort of charges and you're quite worried about it. I'm almost getting a child in that sense. Like you may have had an underage person who was, I don't know, caught drinking or something like that. So what is the best advice here? Truth. This sounds cheesy, but I actually mean it. It's like the truth shall set you free. And the 7 of Swords can be the liar, cheater, thief. So again, I would really err with caution there about doing it not by the book, so to say. If you're thinking you're getting away with something, I don't get the greatest vibe from that. There's something about age-old tradition here, and again, like the rule book. And the Hermit is shining his light on this too. So Virgo and Taurus energy, earthy energy, I don't know if it may involve an earth sign. His wisdom of Lantern is shining on this card of family and tradition. It's Taurus energy, so it's fixed earth. There's really not a lot of wiggle room there. It's kind of like what you see is what you get. So if you broke the law and there's some sort of repercussion, well, you're going to have to do the time, What is that expression? You do the crime, you do the time. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's the last thing I want, but I mean, I can only read what I see here. So you're dealing with earth energy. I think there is a way to make this right. I think there is a way to fix it, but it might be a long commitment to that. It won't be an overnight success story. It won't be just, washing the record clean. There's something where you kind of have to commit to the service. That's very interesting. Community service, maybe. All right. I know this is such a random message. Finishing it up. Victory. And I almost see this as sort of like combining the dark and light side if one was out of balance. In fact, both these cards have that kind of duality, the dark and the light. Again, a card of Gemini are twins, right? But sort of our inner feminine and masculine. Maybe some of you were just kind of out of whack or out of balance and you did something out of character. There was a misstep. And so this is about getting you as a person, my air signs, back into gear, getting it back in alignment. So some of you may be focusing more on body work or chakra work, treating your body like your temple, eating right, dieting, exercising, whatever it is that you do. A connection to something spiritual as well, too. Faith and religion and spirituality, right? It's playing actually a very strong role this week. So if this is not involving you, this storyline may have to do with someone in your life. And for some reason, this sort of guidance is something that you may end up sharing with them on some level, not necessarily, oh, I saw it in a tarot reading, but this idea of sort of, the truth shall set you free, or, you did the thing, so now there's the repercussion, and it's about facing up and honestly being in warrior mode, like knowing that you're going to get through and that you have to face consequences and a big card of like responsibility, right? Taking authority of the situation or taking responsibility of your actions and moving forward and trying to bridge the gap, right? Maybe there's a bit of a wedge, maybe there's a hill to climb, but it doesn't mean we can't bring this back into balance. Maybe that has to do with a relationship, particularly with the Gemini, Taurus, Cancer, or Virgo. All right, last but not least, we will get you an oracle card. And a very, very happy belated birthday to my Gemini gang out there. If I have time, and I should, I'm going to try and throw you a birthday bonus video, but it probably won't be for another week or so. But be on the lookout for that. I will definitely do that for my Geminis. It's been a crazy month. What can I say? But happy Cancer season. By the time you watch this, we will be in Cancer season. So be sure to wish your Cancerian friends a happy birthday. All right, air signs. Oracle card. Do that one, why not? Relief. Ooh, and that totally looks like Neptune. What do you call that? His I forget that little, fork thing he holds. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things at once. All right, the relief card. This is Marcella Krull's Ancient Symbols Oracle deck, Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. It's really cool. It's really awesome. I highly recommend. So this card says, the end of suffering or hard times, a much-needed relief or break in the energy, miracles, rescue, and reprieve. Meditate on this symbol when all else seems too much. Feel it blast out the negative as you call in the strength of your own heart. My goodness, doesn't that sound like this storyline? Hold on, where's my rest and relief card? Oh dear, I've lost it. There she is. Pisces. There's such a Piscean theme to this, the rescue and the relief. So this symbolizes the end of strife. End of strife is an Icelandic magical stave to end suffering and calm anger. King Neptune's, what is this called? I want to say I forget. Someone will know what I'm talking about out there. Ariel's father carries it in The Little Mermaid. All right, air signs. Thanks for joining me this week. That's what I got for you. I hope it resonates. I hope you like it. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. Look out for that Gemini bonus video, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.